Shepard, damned if you aren't a sight for sore eyes.
Good to see you too, sir.
Sir? I may have reinstated you, but that doesn't give you permission to go all formal on me.
Then I'm glad you managed to keep your ass alive, Anderson.
That's more like it. So I imagine by now you've wiped the galaxy clean of Reapers and we can all come up for air?
Not quite. There have been a few complications.
Aren't there always? Hackett filled me in on the Crucible. Sounds like you've got some knots to untangle.
It's what you hired me to do.
Mostly you were hired to kill Reapers. I hope you haven't been sidetracked by all the politics.
Nothing I can't handle. What about you? What's happening on Earth?
I'll spare you the details. But let's just say a lot of cities around the world have stopped checking in.
That bad?
You and I knew what we were in for, but everyone else? I don't think the shock's worn off yet.
Are you safe?
That changes by the hour. I caught a shuttle evac out of Vancouver, and now we're running from foxhole to foxhole just trying to stay alive.
What about the Reapers?
They're harvesting everything that moves. They're focusing on the big cities, which does give us some room to maneuver.
You think you can hang on?
Hell, we're still just trying to talk to each other. Right now, all we can do is organize the resistance at a local level. No lack of volunteers, at least. Everybody knows what's at stake.
I don't know how we'll win this yet, but we will. Even if it kills me.
Well, you've already died once, and that didn't slow you down. But let's not tempt fate. Keep yourself safe, Shepard.
You too, sir.
We'll talk again soon. Anderson out.
You'd never know there was a war on.
They'll know soon enough. All those refugees have to go somewhere.
Commander, Cerberus is attacking civilians on Benning. We've been asked to help evacuate the planet. Commander, nice to see you again.
How are you settling in, Trainer?
I actually feel somewhat useful. It's been challenging to integrate data feeds for the War Summit.
How are the systems holding?
Well, I'm glad we performed stress tests.
Specialist Trainer has been extremely helpful. The accuracy of our war room data is a direct result of her work.
Thank you, Edie. I'm still getting used to all of this. In the lab, we'd hoard everything, piles of tech everywhere. Out here, it's like living out of a shoebox.
Life on an active ship always feels crowded at first. You'll get used to it.
Oh, it's not a bad thing. I've got no problems getting cozy. This is wonderful. Back in the lab, we had to hoard because we had no budget. Now, Edie, Ariake Tech uses a proprietary smart processing algorithm that could clean up our long-range data. Can we license it?
We can. Analyzing and applying the upgrade now. The algorithm should reduce long-range strategic combat data analysis time by 3%.
Impressive.
If it means getting the equipment I need, I can quite happily live out of a shoebox.
Don't worry, Edie. Once the Krogan are gone, we'll get rid of the smell.
While this body has olfactory sensors, I do not have positive or negative associations with any specific scent.
Oh. Well, lucky you. So that went well. Glad to see that Turians can flip out and lose their shit just like the rest of us.
They're under a lot of pressure.
You stole the Normandy, got blown up by the Collectors, and sent us on a suicide mission at the Galactic Core. And I haven't mutinied once. Not once. Commander?
I am impressed by your continued existence, Shepard. The probability of surviving as long as you have is low. Hello, Shepard.
Enough about me. What were you doing before we met up here?
Oh, you know, this and that.
Come on, spill it to Sony.
Very well. I fought several explosive battles with Cerberus. I helped Shepard stop a robotic assassin on Mars. Oh, and I discovered plans for a Prothean doomsday device that were buried for 50,000 years.
Yeah, so just this and that, huh? Turians on a secret mission to Tuchanka, huh? No one told me anything about it. I'm curious to see how this bomb on Tuchanka plays out. I don't suppose ignoring it is an option. So who needs their ass kicked now?
Hello, Shepard. So, Archangel.
You heard about that, huh?
Your sojourn on Omega generated quite a few articles, not to mention security footage. There's one thing I couldn't dig up, though. Did you really take out 3 Blue Suns mercenaries with 1 bullet?
No, of course not. The third guy had a heart attack. Not fair to count him.
No, that would... perhaps stimulate cell regeneration with a... Could... but... Should test with...
That's worse.
Shepard, Eve ready for travel to Tuchanka.
Nice talking with you, Mordin.
We'll be here if you need me. Continuing to study Shroud in meantime.
There is new information on the private messages terminal.
So who needs their ass kicked now?
So, Gabby, have you seen Edie's new body?
Ugh, I knew this was coming.
I just mean, it's an amazing work of engineering. Elastic titanium silicon polymers, ultra-light harmonic phased power cells.
Mm-hmm.
And if she ever accidentally walks into a wall, there's just so much padding.
Ugh, I knew it.
Wish I were a wall.
You pretty much are, Kenneth.
It's great to be back.
Feels good to be in an Alliance uniform again.
Welcome aboard, Chief.
Commander.
Nothing to report.
I'm glad the Commander didn't forget about us down here.
I told you Shepard would come visit.
Dire news from Earth. Off the radar, reaping begins in rural areas. Millions are dead in the Central Asian wilderness, even more in sub-Saharan Africa. We'll give you the gruesome view of what happens when the Reapers don't stop to indoctrinate. Now, in the battle space. You know, in the old days, they didn't have automata cameras. Reporters had to cake on the makeup.
Everything okay with the shuttle?
Just double checking the inertia dampener coils. Can be twitchy in these UT-47s. But don't worry, this bird's been rock solid.
I always see you down here working your ass off. Ever take any downtime?
I get my sleep, Commander. Flying tired is nearly worse than flying drunk.
What about your waking hours? Any R&R?
I need to keep myself busy. Otherwise, well, too much time to think.
I appreciate your dedication, but I don't want to see you burn out.
I know my limits. I wouldn't take a chance with your life.
So before this war, you must have done something to relax.
Sure. I remember back when the Hawking was based out of Arcturus and I was just a fighter jock. There was this observation deck overlooking the main flight paths. You could watch every ship taxi in and out. When I was alone, I'd turn off the auditory emulators and just watch them drift by in silence.
You know, there are views like that on the Citadel. Next time we're there, you should take some shore leave. Clear your head.
I don't know. Maybe.
Take some time off on the Citadel, Steve. As a favor to me.
If you put it that way, how can I say no?
You can't.
Ma'am?
That Primarch's got some real cojones. What we need are more politicians like him, taking names and kicking ass. Rex is a badass. I bet he's got some real interesting stories to tell. More than something else. His mouth moves faster than a frog on a hot rock in the middle of summer. Parts of Tuchanka reminded me of the desert back home. The lizards and worms are bigger, but, you know, the sand and everything. Primarch's son is in over his head, no? Hey,